Hey folks, it's Nate, and I'm sitting in the JK again. Yeah, you know, got 2 Jeeps to modify now. So today I'm putting in a couple simple mods, really simple, birthday gifts for my wife. I put in a Spiderweb Shade JKini and this little trail bag, which does not really require any description at all. But what I wanted to show you was how to make the JKini work with a hardtop, which was not as simple and straightforward as I thought it was going to be. So check it out. Okay, so the JKini is a pretty simple idea. It's a spiderweb shade that covers just where the freedom panels go. All right. So I tried to do a little bit of research before I bought it to see if it'll work with the freedom panels, and I got a very loose yes. And I was a little concerned by that, but I've got it installed now, and I thought I'd show you pretty much how it operates with the freedom panels. Installing it is pretty simple. You take the freedom panels out. I had to unbolt all the bolts holding the hardtop down, lift it up just enough, and put a block of wood in between the center of the hardtop and the roll cage here to give myself room to attach everything. If you do a quick Google search for how to install the JKini in a JK, you'll see why. At the rear corners of the JKini, there are 2 straps that are maybe a foot long that have to go back over the top of these speakers, and then there's a bungee like these guys. Sorry, it's hard to show you. There's a bungee like these guys that goes around behind the speaker there. You can't really see it from here, but it's back here. Maybe I'll get out to show you. The other thing that you need to know is that the bolts here, or the screws, the hand screws that hold the freedom panels down, you can't use them along with the JKini because they go through the same holes. There's 2 little tabs, you can see them here, that go, let's see, is that focused? There's 2 little tabs here that go right over those holes, and then these go through the holes. These, they call them spider balls, but I know them as bungee attachments. They go through the holes that you would have mounted the freedom panels with, and through those tabs, and they hold this relatively tight. You can see it's not tight, but tight enough. So I did some reading, and basically everyone's like, oh, you don't need those things as long as the rest of the hardtop is on, and those are only there for if you're running the freedom panels without the rest of the hardtop. Makes perfect sense, because you have all these toggles that hold these freedom panels down. So what I thought I would do is show you how the freedom panels come out now that the JKini is in place. Okay? So basically, you see these hanging here? So these are the footman loops that these normally attach to. In order to operate them, I had to disconnect these, so you could get enough room to pull it back, get enough room to pull the spiderweb shade back and unlatch this. Okay, so basically you have to pull it down and back like that. Operating these toggles is tough. You could disconnect this loop. I found that you don't really have to. You can get your hands up on top here and move the loop, or move the toggle just enough to get it out of the way. All right, you've got one here. You can maybe see there, little toggle there. You got to turn him. Also, you know, kind of a hassle. You got one here you got to turn, so you can get to all these, and then there's of course one right there above the driver's seat that I can't get to. Let me go around the other side of the Jeep. So yeah, right here, this one's a little harder to get to because it turns differently, but you can get your hand up in there and turn it. Okay, and then the same with this guy. My mic has come loose again. Poor little mic, just hanging there. See, this one's still off. This one's already off from before I tried it. So same deal. And then these come loose the same way they always have. Okay, now the problem here is, and I'll get out. So the problem now is, usually when I would pull these out, I would grab it here, and I'd put my other hand through the center and push up on it, and you can't do that now. So that's kind of a problem. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove that one. Give me a sec. So there's that one out. I'm not gonna take them both out just because you get the idea. But see where these go back over. Yeah, this is where that would normally, the bolt would normally have come up through, and obviously it can't now because this is in the way. You can see it right there. And right here, come on, focus. You can see that one I was talking about. There's a strap that comes over top of the speaker and around here. That's tight. And this one was a little tricky because you had to basically loop it here and then work it up under this piece of molding. And that was the easiest way to get that done. But basically, once you have the freedom panel out, you then loop this guy in. I don't know if I can do it one-handed or not. Well, you get the idea. You put it through the footman loop here and hook it on, and then you're good to go. And then when you want to put the freedom panels back in, you unloop this one, the one that you would have looped over there as well, and then put the freedom panels in the same way you would normally, except you don't put in those hand screws because they don't fit anymore. You may be able to find a way to use the hand screws and mount these somewhere else. One guy said, oh, I loosened up the sound bar and I tucked them in there and tightened the sound bar back up, and that was good. I could try that, I suppose, but if this doesn't leak, then I'm just going to leave it that way, because those hand screws are generally problematic because people tighten them too tight and they compress these seals too much. And then with the seals compressed too much, they leak. So I'm going to try it without them, see what happens. We're going to hope for the best. So there you go. That's pretty much it. I'm going to put this panel back in. Yeah, Spiderweb Shade. Cool stuff. I'll say that on the LJ, it was a lot simpler to install because the roll cage is a lot simpler. It's just tube, you know, here, there, and everywhere. And on these, there's a lot more to think about. So all in all, so far, I like the design. We'll see if that leaks. If it does leak, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with those hand screws. But, yeah, cool. So thanks for watching. Remember, if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to be notified if I ever go live or whatever, which I do from time to time. Also, you can support the channel via Patreon. Go to patreon.com/SWBCrawler. I finally have one patron for $10 a month. So if you guys want to see more improvements to the channel, more patrons will enable that. So cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.